are these people?
World Socialist website, again, a story I had not heard anybody talking about. A death at JFK8. Everybody remembers JFK8. They very famously voted to unionize Chris Smalls. Then he sold them out to the Teamsters. Interestingly enough. All right. Amazon workers. A worker died at JFK8 Fulfillment Center in Staten Island last Wednesday evening. Following the death, workers on 2 successive shifts forced management to temporarily shut the facility for most of the following day. Workers were able to win compensation for the closed shifts from management. The worker has been identified as Leone Salcedo Chevalier, 34, a father of 2. He was struck by a box truck as it was backing up into the loading dock at around 11 p.m. Salcedo Chevalier was rushed to Richmond University Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Driver remained at the scene. Preliminary accounts suggest that he was in the driver's blind spot, and of course no arrests have been made because it was an accident. Accidents do happen. It's terrible, but both the victim and the driver were employed by subcontractors and were not direct Amazon employees. How convenient. Several thousand employees work at JFK8, which made international news in 2022. The walkouts were nominally sanctioned by ALU, which has since merged with the Teamsters Union, but the push to close the facility was largely spontaneous. This reflects not only the determined mood among workers at the facility, it expresses the seething anger among workers across the country, especially at the Trump admin, as they carry out its war against the working class. All right. One worker said that it closed for 4 hours from 6 hours until 5 the next day. All right. Oh, actually, no, it's not 6. It's 18 hours. When the new shift started, workers were angry. The bulletin board was filled with notes talking about the lack of respect shown by management toward the guy who was killed and about forcing us to go back so quickly after it happened. They pretended to care about safety, but they don't. All right. They put the responsibility on individual workers. They walk around telling people you're not wearing the correct shoes and little things like that. But that's not supposed to prove they care about safety. But they don't do anything when it comes to bigger safety issues. Another one said, you hear, my friend works at Costco. They have fluorescent vests with flashers attached. So even if you're in a blind spot, the driver knows you're there because they can see the light from the flashers. They don't use those here. You just get the vests. All right. Someone else didn't even know about the death because they were just coming to work. They should have shut the whole place down. And you've got other anecdotal stories from workers. All right. It's just the latest in a long line of work-related injuries and deaths at Amazon. We talked very famously about the death in Carteret that Chris Smalls was even silent about, I remember. He showed up like a week later at the facility, but they weren't part of JFK8. In the sweltering summer, here you go, of 2022, 3 Amazon workers at a facility in New Jersey, facilities died due to excessive heat. All right. Then you've got Shannon Allen. WSWS has reported extensively on conditions at Amazon. So have we. We talked with Heather over from the Albany warehouse. We've talked with Michelle, who still, I believe, works occasionally at JFK8. She does shifts there. Amazon responds ruthlessly to all expressions of opposition. This was shown, for example, in its unpaid suspension of as many as 80 workers who refused to return to work immediately after a fire at JFK8. I remember we covered that. Meanwhile, Dick Rocket Bezos has thrown his support behind Trump because he'll support whoever's in the White House, who systemically is dismantling all regulatory agencies, even partially limiting the operations of American corporations. All right, so fuck Amazon, fuck Trump. And again, a worker died at JFK8, and I don't think anybody else talked about it, but we're going to, and we're going to mention it. Support independent media because we need it more than ever, folks. Love you all. See you soon.
Keep listening to what little birds have to tell you.
Good night, fam.
We up out of here.
Bye, Felicia.
No! We just fucking lost the stream!
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry. My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say? You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 50,000 dead? And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison.